So we've spent some time already on slope, but here in this video, on question 9, we're going to talk a little bit about y-intercepts. Okay, so what are y-intercepts? It's the place, let's call it the point. It's the point where a line intersects the y-axis. So when we graph lines, the y-intercept is the point where the y-intersect and the line meet. Okay, and the y-intercept is represented, as we learned in the previous video, by the letter B. Okay, so just a couple examples of the y-intercept. Let's say I have a graph and I have a line like this. The y-intercept, right, here's the y-axis right here. And here's my line. So the y-intercept is right there. Okay, it's where the line hits the y-axis. It could be like that. It could be, sometimes it's down here. Right here, the y-intercept is negative. It's down below the x-axis. So that's like, let's say that's like -2. This is like +1, right, or whatever number. Sometimes the y-intercept can even be, here's my graph, it can even be the origin, right? That happens too. So there's my y-intercept, right? But notice that in each case, I have these lines on my graph, and we're going to be graphing lines in a moment, and the y-intercept is the point where it hits the y-axis, okay? And because it's always a point on the y-axis, right, it's always a point on the y-axis. So think about what that means in terms of its coordinates. Think about what that means. Like this point is probably, like let's just, I don't know, if we just pretend like, okay, this is 2, right? Like that's 0, 2. Let's say this is -3, right? This would be 0, -3. What do you notice? The x is always 0, right? So this x coordinate is always going to be 0 at the y-intercept. And then there's going to be a number here, right? In this case, it's 2. In this case, it's -3. But that number is the y-intercept. So it's going to be this number, b. Right? Whatever this number is, it's going to be this number here. Okay? So that's where the y-intercept is.